Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the second video of the lesson number 2. Sorry, of the lesson number 4, okay, of this class. Okay, it's the unit number 2. Okay, so in this opportunity, the class is going to be about discussing when telling a lie might be acceptable. Okay, so in which cases do you think that telling a lie might be acceptable? Okay, maybe it's a question that you may think about it. So we are going to do the following. We're going to do a grammar close-up, okay? So you have to read the comments about the pros and cons of being truthful. So we have pros and cons, pros y contras, okay? Los pros y los contras, okay? That is the pros and cons of being truthful, okay? When someone is truthful, okay, he or she always tells the truth, okay? Never tell lies. Okay, so we're going to read this and listen to it. Remember that I will upload this audio recording, okay, so you can have it. So let's read and listen at the same time.
Let's face it, the lies that people tell their closest friends are usually only little white lies. For example, my best friend Angie recently dyed her hair a kind of a greenish color, and I thought it looked pretty weird. But I didn't want to hurt a person whose friendship meant so much to me, so I said, it looks terrific. In the end, no harm done.
In my opinion, there aren't many times when telling a lie is acceptable. The relationships that are the most important to you could be harmed if you're not honest with each other. I know they say everyone tells lies, but that doesn't make it right.
Am I always truthful? Not really. Once I forgot to pay my credit card bill on time, and they charged me a late fee. So I called the company and told them I'd never received the bill. That was a lie, but the employee to whom I was speaking was very nice about it, and she waived the fee. In my experience, people who always tell the truth end up having to pay for their honesty. So in my view, being truthful is not always worth it.
The truth is, there's no place in the world where people are honest 100% of the time. Lying is just something social that people in all cultures do. In fact, there are many situations in which telling a lie may be the best solution for getting along. And then there are people to whom we should never be dishonest.
Okay, interesting. So what do you think? Let's have a look at the expressions here. The lies that people tell their closest friends are usually only little white lines, okay, that people tell to their closest friends, okay? Las mentiras que la gente le dice a sus amigos más cercanos, okay? Whose friendship meant so much so for me, or to me, okay? La amistad significó mucho para mí. When telling a lie is acceptable, so in my opinion, there are many times when telling a lie is acceptable. Okay, so that means that he thinks that in so few occasions you can tell lies only. Okay, the relationships that are most important to you could be harmed if you're not honest with each other. Okay, that are the most important to you, que son las más importantes. Okay, so have a look at this. We have that, we have whose, when, that. Okay, these are relative pronouns. Okay, so we have here to whom I was speaking, who I always tell the truth, where. Okay, remember it was here when, here's where. Okay, that people in all cultures do, in which telling a lie may be the best solution, to whom we should never be dishonest. Okay, so the grammar and the piece of homework is going to be about that. Okay, we are going to explain it in detail. So here we go. So we have adjective clauses. So remember, like an adjective clause gives more information about a noun. So the relative pronoun, okay, whom, and that introduce adjective clauses about people. Who, whom, that. The relative pronouns that and which introduces adjective clauses about things. Okay? People who tell the truth are sometimes punished for doing so. Why lies are the most common types of lies that people tell. Okay? That people tell. The most common types of lies. Okay, so there are others relative pronouns. When, where, and whose. To introduce adjective clauses about time, location, and possession. So time, when. Okay, there will never be a time when some sort of lying isn't socially necessary. Location, there is no place in the world where people are completely honest 100% of the time. And possession, people whose jobs require the most social contact tell the most lies. Okay? In formal English, when a relative pronoun is the object of a preposition, okay, the preposition appears at the beginning of the clause. Example, in informal English, the preposition usually appears at the end. Note, there is no informal form of for in which. Veamos los ejemplos. Most of us tell little white lies to the people with whom we often interact. But informal, most of us tell little white lies to the people who we often interact with. Can you see the difference? Okay, with whom? Who with? Formal. It's a question to which most people can give a truthful answer. It's a question which most people can give a truthful answer to. It sounds weird in informal English, but it's very common. Okay? And there are situations in which lying cannot be avoided. It's the same. Use whom and not who directly after preposition. We say with whom, not with who. Okay? In Spanish, con quién. ¿Y cómo se dice quién? Who. Okay? Pero cuando lo usamos con una preposición antes, with whom we interact with. Okay? And here it was like to whom. Okay? With whom, to whom. We interact every day. And use which, know that, directly after a preposition, to which most people can give a truthful answer. Okay? Great. So now let's practice. Interesting, right? So now we are going to practice here. Okay, what you have to do here is you have to complete each sentence with one of these relative pronouns, okay? Pronombres relativos. It's not important that you learn this grammar, okay, like the rules, but it's important that you use them correctly. So we have these ones, and you have to write them down in your copybook, and the same with this one. So now we're going to check. People whose lies get discovered may lose the trust of those closest to them. Ya. Traducción de whose, cuyas mentiras. La gente cuyas mentiras se descubre. The people with whom I work are very honest. I hate to say, but my office is a place where telling lies often gets rewarded. There are many situations in which it's almost impossible to tell the truth. The people to whom I will never tell lies are the people who are the closest to me. And here the same. Okay, there are times when I feel I have to lie to avoid trouble, and there are situations in which I lie to avoid hurting people. They say that those whose professions require lots of social contact tend to tell more lies than other people do. Telling the truth is a choice for which there is often no reward. There are moments when being honest can cause problems. Friends who break their promises can be trusted. Okay? Good. So, the piece of homework is going to be about this, about grammar, adjective, clauses, review, and expansion. Okay? Great. If you have any question, please let me know.